movie with your cast and with your director?
Who would have thought a day like this would come? I think about what did I do that was interesting enough to make a movie about? Here we are, and I think it's a great work. These guys really put their hearts into it, and when you work that hard for something, you'll be successful. And so I gotta feel it's going to be a successful, really good movie.
For you, Zac, was such a great moment when you all took the stage and you're holding up each other's hands. What did that moment, after all the hard work that you all did on this film, what did that moment mean to you right there?
I just brought it all home, man. That was a moment I'll never forget. That the whole adventure from start to finish on this movie has been, we're telling a true story, and it's a really, really powerful one. It was challenging to make. Kevin's had a crazy life, and being up there at that moment to celebrate this journey we've all been on was epic. Yeah. And then after getting shown around Texas by Kevin Von Erich,
so for all you guys, what you were going to have to do, like Harry?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the story was unreal. I wasn't that familiar with the wrestling world, and I wasn't familiar with the Von Erichs until I spoke to Sean about the story, and I watched kind of the episode they had in Dark Side of the Ring about all you guys, and then I read the story, and man, it was an unbelievable story. But in the script and in the docuseries, it was clear just like how much love and respect was prevalent in the family. And yeah, immediately I was concerned with how much training it would take to get into it. I told Sean, Carrey's a pretty big guy. Like, I don't know if I can act that big. I can do my best. But yeah, I mean, we just got to it as soon. It was such an easy decision. I've known Sean for a long time. I had always wanted to find him again in work, and so it was a really easy decision. The story was so great. So as soon as I signed on, I just started picking up heavy things and eating a lot.
Yeah, it was amazing.
World and had a deep appreciation for it, but this story in particular, I think, has such a weight and a prevalence. Also, to me, like how quickly this family rose to prominence was so impressive, and I think doing this film has given me like a whole new layer of understanding of wrestling and the wrestling community, and I think it's also important to say how much love and support we felt from that community, and how much we were like welcomed in, and that's I think when I watched the film for the first time, it was clear to me why Sean was the person to make this film, because it needed to be handled correctly, and I believe Sean really had that in his sights the whole time. But the physicality was, it was fun, man, but it was hard. Like I definitely felt like I was complaining a lot, but I was letting everyone know about my pain a lot. But
you did do it with a broken toe.
I did it, yeah, I had a broken toe, yeah, which I sort of let everyone know every day. But I loved it, man, and getting to do it with these guys was so fun. So, yeah.
Stars and in the ring. There's just something about it. We like all bullshit was out the side. I think it was like within 30 minutes we were already just pushing each other to the max.
Yeah, it was the shorthand, I think.
Yeah.
Where you have to trust each other immediately, and there's like this immediate kind of like vulnerability built into that.
100%. You're doing a trust fall.
Shavo, when we first met, Shavo just pushed us together and was like, lock up.
Yeah.
And we're like looking into each other's eyes, and
there's this thing that we like the lockup in wrestling. I'm not gonna do it with this guy. It's like right, yeah. It's just like this, right? So we're here, and this is like a moment where you're in control, but you're kind of pushing and pulling.
Yeah.
And I think we spent like a whole hour just doing that.
Spent a lot of time close.
So it was a very, very intimate way to meet all the boys. Really fun.
Yeah.
And then we started jumping off.
Like it wasn't enough. I wanted more history. I wanted more, and it was hard to get stuff back then. And I used to like my mother would like drive around to bookstores and like help me find like old VHS tapes. And I must have found like I remember definitely getting a copy of Parade of Champions. It would have been like sort of 4 or 5 years after it happened, but also some like best of NWA matches. And I remember the first time seeing the Sportatorium, and it just looked different. And there was like, I think I connected to this, like everything was so shiny by the late 80s, early 90s, and then to see the Sportatorium for the first time, I was like, oh, that feels real. You know, that was like, it just looked different. You could feel that these guys were really hitting each other, you know, and it was just, and then to see, you know, I remember seeing Kevin flying off the top rope in bare feet, and just like seeing the brothers together and this beautiful, you know, they were each such individual styles, but together they were like this incredible team, and the way they complemented each other. And so without even knowing about the depth of their brotherhood, I think I felt it just from being a fan. And I think for me, why it was, what really resonated was that I was a really quiet kid. I was like, and I think I found, you know, I don't know, it was like I could express myself as a wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can go in there and I can be a quiet kid, and then like suddenly, you know, your favorite wrestler comes out and you're just like screaming, you know, like frenzied screams, and so you could really.
It's just a tearjerker. I'd love to, but come on.
Yeah,
It's an incredible scene.
That's what got me, that scene. Carrie him. I mean, I don't wanna ruin the movie for you guys. Man, it really got me. But in a good way, it got in the way that, you know, it was, life is like that, you know, it's tough. You have to be tough sometimes, and I think these guys did a great job capturing the love between us brothers, and then the love between us and our father. We loved our dad. He was a strict disciplinarian, you know, born in the Depression, but he raised us rough, but it's a good thing he did, because life is rough. We're prepared.
Well,
Good thing.
congratulations, yeah.
A real person, you're always, you know, there's an extra layer of honesty you hope to bring to the character. And, you know, after making this movie and the physical transformation of it, the emotional elements all behind it, I knew there was a powerful story there, but really for me, it came down to whether Kevin really liked it or not. And I knew that Sean was on the forefront of that the character was really on the page, and I trusted Sean to get us there to that point. But after the whole journey, I finally got to see Kevin. This was 2 nights ago, and we showed up just to, I don't know, it was kind of a big dinner with everybody standing around. We locked eyes, and he goes, let's go over here. And I think we sat face to face for about an hour and a half, man.
Yeah,
We just
this
had
was
the
the
absolute
first
best
class,
talk. It was
And now they're going
incredible.
spearfishing together.
But all the things he was just saying about, you know, being tough, and like life knocks you down, you know, and it's, you know, you gotta stand back up. And those guys that are real warriors out there, real fighters, the Von Erichs, Kevin, I admire the heck out of those guys. And that's what this story's about. And it seems like all the moments that really matter, the family, the love, the loss, all got through to Kevin in a good way, and that must mean they're there. So,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. Jeremy, shoot your.
You know, I met Kevin last night, I met a lot of the Von Erichs last night, and just the fact that they wanted to like share space with us was enough for me. I was like, you know, it was such a relief, because, you know, we tried to tell the story with as much like tenderness and honesty as possible, but you just never know. These are real people's lives, and it's a difficult thing. It's an undertaking to try and fit that into a film. So I was nervous, but all you guys have been so kind, and that just that felt tremendous. Yeah. I've shown it before, but I think it was really kind of useful meeting in the ring, and there was that kind of, you know, shorthand into a kind
To wrestle, there's no, oh, this is how you jump off the ropes. It's kind of like, you look around the room, you're with the guys, you see them level up and do some incredible move, and damn, I hope mine are looking that good. I hope mine are coming across. Let's see, like, what's next? What can Kevin do next? Like, what's our next move? And then he gives you something that you should have no business doing. Something jumping off the top rope, and it was very, very clear from the beginning that these guys were all in and were dedicated. Like I'm a stickler for that stuff. I love everything to look right. Kevin told me that's the way he was wrestling it, and that takes a lot of tries. There's a lot of hard hits. You mess up a lot on the way to getting those things perfect, and so all these guys brought that every day. So I know that transferred into the
3 in a row, and you just smashed them out. and then
he went straight to like arguably the hardest move we could.
Yeah, no, I mean, it went like mouse.
One of the things you could tell with how good the wrestling was really how the audience reacted. They were a whole other character in our film, and it was crazy. As soon as you got a good move right, and there was a section of the movie that was going really well, if you got a couple good moves and a good arm bar in there, they would freaking lose it.
A lot of them were really familiar with wrestling.
They were. So a lot of
Yeah.
people who came out as extras in the sportatorium, you know, they'd come up to me in between takes, they'd bring photos when they used to see these guys visiting Baton Rouge, you know, like they were fans, and I knew that we were gonna have a great crowd when the very first day of shooting in the sportatorium. In Kevin's first match against the Sheik, there's the guy in the Sheik's corner, Skander Akbar, who was a very famous villain of that time, and very iconic. And we weren't shooting yet, the camera wasn't up, nothing was happening, just the extras were in their seats, and Chavo and this guy playing Skander Akbar just walk out to the ring just to get ready, and the second that everybody saw them, everyone stood up and started booing. And it was so loud, and I was like, yes. Alright. We are making a wrestling movie.
So this next question is.
There's a commitment and a level of, agonizing torture, and but just pure athleticism for the sake of athleticism. These guys put themselves through 160, 100. How long is the tour? Was it 200 days a year?
At least.
At least.
Right,
And it's, I don't think anyone really knows about it
Yeah.
yet. I think it's cool to examine it in this film, and I know I appreciate it more than I ever could have before. And so I'm still figuring it out, man. I'm listening to podcasts with a lot of older wrestlers now. It's just wild. You know, the injuries, you can talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that,
Well, a lot of injury, Dave. As usual, I'm on the mic and I'm struggling. I'm like, oh, what was I gonna say? And you have a smirk on your face, just like my brother Dave. I'll rescue you again.
that's so
Great job, buddy.
That's so funny.